Good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 143 of the Nerds United as One podcast. I'm your host, Paul English, and like always, we have a fantastic show for you. It's interrogation time, and today we are going to be grilling each other about the funniest TV shows we've ever seen. And joining me for that is the familiar crew of Colton, Jack, and Mike. Boys, what's up?
Hey, everyone.
Great to be here.
All right, so you guys know how this routine works. We're going to jump into it. So, Colton, what is your pick?
ABC's The Middle.
Okay. Jack, what is the funniest show you've ever seen?
Mr. Bean.
If you guys cannot guess Mike's pick, you do not know him very well. But, Mike, what is your pick?
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay. And my pick is Steve Harvey's Family Feud. All right, Colton, you are first on the hot seat, so ready or not, here we come. Jack, what's your first question for Colton?
Have you seen all the episodes of this show?
I have not. I started watching the show relatively late. Not late, about maybe 3 seasons into it, and I have started I did go back and start to watch the episodes from the beginning, and I'm kicking myself for not watching it from the start because it's just a delight, all these weird scenarios these characters get into and what have you. But yeah, I have not watched every episode of the series.
Okay, Mike, what is your first question for Colton?
Well, first off, I have to start off with a pun. So, Colton, technically you started watching The Middle in the middle.
Appropriate.
Yeah. I genuinely know nothing about this show. Does it have anything to do with Malcolm in the Middle? Or?
No, I think they share maybe some showrunners or something, but the show has nothing to do with Malcolm in the Middle. It's just another show. It's just another famous sitcom with the word the middle in the title.
All right, fair enough. I like I said, I genuinely did have no idea what it's about. So.
All right, Colton, my question to you is this. What is it about this show that makes it the funniest show you've ever seen? There's so many sitcoms out there, so many comedic shows. Why this one?
I love how they're somehow able to get for some sitcoms, they go almost too over the top, and some sitcoms, but in this show, all the over the top scenarios they get into, it's the right level of it, while also having a lot of low key scenarios as well. There's a weird relatability to the family that makes me love watching them. In addition to the fact that whenever things finally start going the family's way, it gets even more funny. It's even funnier. Like I told you guys about that Disney episode where they finally got to go to Disney World and they got to experience just how great the hotels were. They started ransacking the place for every single commodity that they could. It's a family that you love following and thus enjoy all the ridiculous scenarios to get into and what have you.
Okay, all right. Good answer. Okay, Jack, what is your second question?
Is there any big stars in this show?
No, not really. I mean, they have noticeable names, but no one that would probably Patricia Heaton and hold on, let me look at the other guy's name. Patricia Heaton, and then there's Neil Flynn from Scrubs. You might remember him from that show. But beyond that, probably the most notable star they had on the show was, what's Dick Van Dyke's brother's name again? Jerry Van Dyke, who played the grandfather, but beyond that, there were no real huge stars in it.
All right, Mike, did you have a second question?
Sorry, forgot. Probably got muted. What is the general premise of the show?
The general premise of the show is just a family they're not middle class, but they're not poor either. They're sort of low middle class, what have you. Just them going about their day-to-day lives, trying to just make sense of the world and just make ends meet and what have you. And that's pretty much it. It's just a day in their lives every episode. There are some arcs every now and then, but in general, it's just the daily lives of the Heck family, and the Heck family goes through one heck of a ride throughout every episode.
It's a husband, his wife, and
Their 3 children.
3 children. Yeah, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Right.
All right. All right. So my second question, the last one for you, Colton. Is there one episode in particular that really stands out to you as like an example of why this show is your favorite? Or,
Yeah,
like,
the aforementioned Disney World to Visit episode, because of the fact that in the first part it involves the family driving 9 hours out of their way to go see their son's internet girlfriend, only to find out that they broke up, and they were so furious that they demanded that the son and Breck, they demanded that he go inside and apologize to her for breaking up with him. And then when he does so, the girlfriend's parents are like, "Wait a minute, so you drove 9 hours out of your way just to tell us that? What kind of people are you?" And then when they go to Disney World, just the amount of culture shock they experience over how it really lets you. It's the episode that really stuck with me the most, because most Disney World episodes typically kind of go the main protagonist's way and what have you. Whereas in this one, almost everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but it still managed to be rather heartwarming in a sense, actually, while also maintaining the typical down on the luck humor that the Heck family goes through.
All right, Colton, you are all set. Jack, moving on to you. Colton, what's your first question for Jack?
So what is it about this show, like Paul asked me, what is it about this show that you really find to be funny?
I just find it really funny because there's not a lot of dialogue. It's more in Mr. Bean's actions and him usually going into pretty crazy things that he usually gets himself into and then tries to get himself out.
Okay. Mike, what's your first question?
But just curious, since you love Mr. Bean so much, have you seen Rowan Atkinson's other big series, Blackadder?
No, I haven't seen that.
I highly recommend it. It is, especially the 4th season, is really, really funny.
Okay. Jack, my first question is this. Was this your first introduction to Rowan Atkinson, or did you discover him after seeing him something else?
No, this was my first introduction to Rowan Atkinson with Mr. Bean.
All right. Colton, what's your second question?
If you can think of it, what would you consider to be the funniest episode of Mr. Bean you saw?
The funniest episode is also my favorite episode of Mr. Bean, where Mr. Bean goes to like a community pool and he decides he's going to go off the high dive, but then he gets really scared and these kids kind of bully him to do it, and then he's hanging on for dear life at the end of the board, and they step on his fingers and he falls into the pool. And when he gets into the pool, he realized that his swim trunks have come off. He is naked in the pool. And then they said that they are closing the pool. So you see him go up and down trying to take breaths so he doesn't get caught as everybody leaves. And you see him go against a wall, and all the women come out of the bathroom, the locker room, and see his butt. And then they turn around, and then he turns around and they scream.
And then I look that up. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's going to be funny. All right. Mike, second question?
No, I'm good.
All right. I'm actually good too. So, Jack, you're all set. Okay. Mike, you're up. So, Colton, what is your first question for Mike?
All right. Well, Mystery Science Theater has had 3 hosts so far, so you probably expected this, but which host did you think was the funniest?
Which host do I think is the funniest?
Yeah.
Ooh, you got a good one.
That is a tough one. Funniest, I think I might give a slight edge to Joel. Mike, I think, is a far more talented host because he could actually sing and play music, and he had lots of kind of skill in the stand-up comedian trade before he did that. But when it just came to like kind of off the cuff remarks, I think Joel had a little bit better, but not by much.
Okay. Jack, what's your first question for Mike?
What is your favorite movie that they made fun of?
Now, do I take that as which movie did they make fun of that I really liked, or which episode was the funniest? Like, which movie did they make fun of the best?
Yeah, which movie did they make fun of the best?
Okay. It's a season. I mean, there were a lot of really, really excellent episodes, but one of my favorite, it came in season 8, actually. The first season that they went to the Sci-Fi Channel. It was called Prince of Space. It was this Japanese movie that was, for one, very badly dubbed, and the villain was the villain. His unique feature was he had a long pointed nose. He was the phantom dictator of the planet known as Crankor, and he would quite often laugh, and his laugh sounded like a 1980s Chevy failing to turn over. That's literally what it sounded like. The dub was just hilariously funny, and they made the most of it.
All right, Mike. I know that Mystery Science Theater typically makes fun of like bad movies, bad like science fiction movies, but did they ever come a time where they were trying to make fun of like a movie that was generally like well received? And how do you think they would succeed in that?
Somewhat. I mean, they did that a couple of different times. One, they did a couple of specials for Sci-Fi Channel when they were on there, where it was like just a half-hour special where they would actually take clips from like they did one summer blockbuster review, and I think they did an Academy Award one as well, where they actually took clips from the summer movies. I think it was like in 1997 or whatever. And also in Academy Award movies, and they would actually riff on those little clips, and they actually did quite a good job. They actually did do a couple of clips of Batman and Robin. Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen them do a review of that.
What was that?
I would have liked to have seen them do a review of that, the whole movie.
Well, actually, then after it ended, after the show ended in 1999, before it was picked up by Netflix, 3 of the head writers, including Mike, went on and did. They're doing this thing called Riff Tracks. It's at rifftracks.com, and they actually do audio commentaries for movies. Basically, you just provide the movie, and then you just use audio cues to sync it up. And they do things like Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. They've done Superman 3 and 4, I think. They've done good movies and bad movies. They've done the entire Star Wars series.
They did Starship Troopers too, I think.
Oh yeah, they've done some live shows where they've done they did Starship Troopers. They've done Plan 9 from Outer Space. So, if not Mystery Science Theater 3000 directly, Riff Tracks has done a bunch of like modern, actual like big blockbuster movies. Some good, some bad.
Okay, Colton, did you have a second question for Mike?
Yeah, kind of a follow with my first question, but which of the villains did you think were the funniest?
Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank. All day, every day. I love the other villains, but the Trace Beaulieu and Frank Conniff had just perfect chemistry as an evil scientist that was more mad than evil, and his extraordinarily incompetent but good-hearted sidekick. Yeah.
Okay, Jack, do you have a second question?
Yeah, mine's a 2-part.
All right.
If it's still on, because I'm not sure if it is, do they do current movies?
It's sort of still on. They've done a couple of seasons for Netflix that you can actually pull up. And they've done current-ish movies. Like they did a movie that came out. It was a blatant ripoff of Pacific Rim. So blatant, it was actually called Atlantic Rim.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the second episode of the latest season that just came out. So that one came out like late 2000s. But that's, I mean, other than rifftracks.com, that's about the most recent that they do now.
All right. I might. This is probably going to be actually. I'm not sure if Colton asked this already, but if you had to pick like one episode that really sums up like what you consider like the genius writing of MST3K, which episode do you think it would be?
I think I would have to. It's kind of a cliche at this point for anyone that knows the series, but I kind of have to go with Manos: The Hands of Fate. This movie.
What'd you say, Mike?
I have to go with Manos: The Hands of Fate. It
Okay.
is easily one of in the top 5 worst movies that they've ever done. I mean, the movie was directed, starred, and financed by a Texas fertilizer salesman. That kind of tells you a lot right there.
Damn.
Yeah. And I mean, there are a number of scenes that are painful to watch, but Joel and the bots, they managed to milk it for everything it's worth, and it is. And they do. They actually make that into. They made that episode or that movie into a cult classic when really it should have been forgotten.
Okay, we're good. All right, Mike, you're all set. You're done, which means I'm up. So, Colton, what's your first question for me?
My first question is, what do you think is funnier, the actual game show or just Steve's reactions to some of the contestants' answers?
It hands down, it's Steve's reactions because these people just give like the dumbest answers on the show. And whereas hosts in the past will try to like be pour a little sugar on thing, no, it's all right. Steve don't. If he hears a stupid answer, he's gonna ridicule you for a while. He's gonna call you out on it. He's gonna make fun of it, and I mean he's a comedian, so it's going to be hilarious. So some of the things he will say and how he will react to certain answers is just priceless. Jack, first question is.
Yeah. What is your favorite episode?
Oh jeez. Oh man. Oh my god. Yeah. It's probably one of the Celebrity Family Feud episodes because tell you, celebrities are stupid. A lot of celebrities are just moronic. I mean, I can't really think of one episode, but by God, there are so many moments. Like one of the most famous, Snoop Dogg's playing Fast Money, and fill in the blank, pie in the what? And she blurts out, horse. Steve didn't hear that right away. Like, wait, what did he say? And so he gets to repeat it because Snoop didn't reach 200 points at that point. So he goes in. Oh my God, he rips him. So many new assholes. It's unreal.
What was his answer?
Pie in the horse. Look it up. Just look up Snoop Dogg on Family Feud. If you are not laughing so hard your side hurt, there's something wrong with you. All right, Mike, what's your first question?
Yeah. I mean, beyond that, was there any one particular joke that really stands out for you as like one of the funniest you've ever seen in it?
Oh, geez, there are so many. Not necessarily jokes, but just bad answers. One that really stands out to me. The question was, they spoke to 100 married women. Question was, name something the Pillsbury Doughboy and your wife have in common. And this dude just struggling to think of an answer. He blurts out, he's white. And Steve just throws the cards down the floor. His reaction was just perfect.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not, but, it's just funny. Oh man. So yeah, that one particularly stands out, but there's a lot of them that come close. All right. Colton, did you have a second question?
That was my question, actually.
All right. Jack, do you have one?
No.
Mike?
Yeah, actually. Beyond Steve Harvey, was there a particular host that you kind of thought was second best, maybe?
See, Steve Harvey was really the only one that I've consistently watched. I've seen a lot of clips with John O'Hurley and Richard Dawson. So, based on those clips, I would have to go with Richard Dawson. And probably his most famous clip is during Fast Money. The question: during what months does a woman begin to look pregnant? And the woman just goes, September. Dawson just cannot hold himself serious for like the next 5 minutes. He keeps cracking up. He's laughing so hard. He keeps interrupting the second person trying to go. Like, I can't focus. So, oh, yeah.
I thought of a question.
Okay.
Other than Snoop Dogg, was there any other stupid answers that you thought were really funny?
There are way too many to list. If you want the most famous and Steve Harvey's personal favorite, name something that follows the word pork. Cupine. I'm not joking. Someone actually said cupine. Just look it up. Just look it up. I promise you are going to laugh so damn hard. But one that I guess another one that would stand out to me. Oh geez. The question was okay. The question was name a fancy car that a stripper might use as her stage name, and this dude, like in his 50s, just goes, "How about Cadillac?" But yeah, stripper named Cadillac. And then they go to him again, and he's start Lincoln. And Steve just cannot contain himself. So yeah, there are a lot of dumb answers that Steve just reacted. But then there's some guests that just cause him to go crazy. And for the best example, look up the Nana episode. Look up that clip where this woman just keeps repeating the same answers over and over again.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. It was.
You see Steve just lose his mind.
You know, there was one question I remember where I don't remember what the question was, but the woman, her answer was penis, and it was during Fast Money, and Steve laughed so hard he actually had to stop the clock because
I remember that. I remember that. The question was, name a part of your. That's 100 men. Name a part of your body that's bigger than it was when you were 16, and she just blurts out your penis, and Steve is just traumatized. To put it simply, guys, to wrap it all up, whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling, sad, or if I'm in, I've had a rough day, I just pull it on my phone or my laptop, and I just watch some Family Feud clips, and just a few of those, I'm good. I feel so much better because that's just what he does. I mean, the people there just give the dumbest answers, and Steve Harvey does not hesitate to ridicule them, and it's just hilarious. Like, even he admitted, because he's got like 7 TV shows, and he told this, he said, if he was ever forced to just pick one and dump the others, he'd say, I keep Family Feud, because I love hosting that show. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up our interrogation. This was a whole lot of fun. We got a lot of good laughs doing this, so Colton, Jack, Mike, thank you all very much for being here. It's so much fun doing this with you.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Push the button, Frank.
All right, so we will see you next week where we are going to revisit, hopefully, an episode we did a few years ago where we discussed the impact that shows from Japan had on our childhood. So we look forward to that one. We hope to see you there next week. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.